Before we start out a new episode of Kunado Chronicles, I just want to say I'm sorry. I lost the gameplay footage of around maybe an hour, and that is kind of important given the stuff that happens in the episode, which I'm gonna try to recap. So we continue where we left off, except for the fact that, well, as we had a chance to kill Fujita, we kind of struggled as we didn't exactly wanted to kill him. But then, when we stopped, and then he decided to kill us instead, Natsuhime started to speak out of the bracelet, and everything just stopped. Fujita's canceled his ice powers on us, and he decided to tell us the truth. Not exactly about Natsuhime, but Haru, which, what comes next honestly surprised me. She is not their sister whatsoever. She is the creation of Natsuhime. In particular, her Kotodama. That honestly shocked me. Really. And the funniest thing is, she was created out of a tree sapling. Of the very same tree that Haru always visits. Which is, I found that really adorable.
パープルソフトウェア
This is how she looks the moment she was created. It's kind of weird that she came out of a tree sapling, but well, I guess it's the power of the Kotodama for you. So freaking cute! Ah! And what was even more cuter was when Haruhime told Natsuhime that she felt warm, and Natsuhime felt some human emotions and stuff like that. That was really wholesome, honestly. And also, she said that she was hungry for rice. Natsuhime said, "The ricey balls?" She said, and then she said yes. Yeah, that's about it, really. Other than that, you died, or to be more precise, got absorbed by Teki, according to the dialogue. And now she's within somewhere in the system, and maybe we get to save her eventually in the future if we ever get to the vibration swords. We'll just have to see and find out the more we progress through this visual novel. Other than that, let's proceed with the episode. How about we do that? Alright, welcome back to another episode of Kunado Chronicles. 2 weeks pass. As summer comes to an end, I finish writing my story. This is a record of everything I've researched about Natsuhime. My room is illuminated by lanterns. I'm writing the end of a particular story. She was a monster with the power of a goddess that allowed her to become a hero by defeating the Kurokami, creating a new future not just for Kanto, but all of humanity. At the same time, she was also a tyrant, unable to understand the feelings of normal people, but also a coward, afraid of fighting more than anyone else. The impressions people have shared with me differ vastly depending on the individual relying on them. None of them are completely true, and none are completely mistaken. All of them are Natsuhime. She was a mirror. If that's true, then maybe the Natsuhime I talked to was also just reflecting me. I shake my hand and pull back from this detour. I grip my brush. Everyone living in Kanto today knows of Natsuhime. But in the decades to come, in hundreds of years, people will forget even her. I'm not saying that's wrong. In fact, I want them to forget. To forget Natsuhime, and the swords, and me. I hope that reading this in the future, you aren't struggling with finding the techie or finding food. I hope you are living happily. I hope it is a world where everyone can be an individual and can chase their own dreams. And just sometimes, every now and then, I want you to remember that there was a girl, just a girl, called Natsuhime, living in Kanto. I stopped writing. I spent a good 5 minutes searching my own heart, and then decided to leave a few personal words for myself. I wish I could have met Natsuhime when she was alive. I wanted to talk with her. That is the greatest single regret I still have. Hachinokami, Shin Kurogane. I signed my name, and this time lay down my brush for good. I really am finished. I wrote everything I needed to write. I didn't write at all about the stuff I didn't need to write. The stuff I didn't need to write. I look over at the bed. I love the girl is sleeping there. She has a calm, peaceful look on her face. As it turns out, when she's truly relaxed, she has a habit of sucking her thumb while she sleeps. Maybe she's dreaming about eating. I smile, hoping that's the case. The happiness of the one I love becomes my own happiness. It warms even my mechanical heart. The one I love, Haruhime, a girl made using the kotodama. If I told her the truth, I'm sure she would struggle with it, but in the end, she might accept it. That fateful solution that Fuyuhita and I so fear probably wouldn't come to pass. Probably not. Because she believes in me. And yet it is still a secret that I have to keep. I'm not writing a memoir. The story is for entertainment purposes. Of course, I need to give it a name. I return my awareness to the story and recall that it isn't complete without a name. Rather than giving it a name, I just need to pick one from the ideas I've already had. I searched for my notes with the candidate titles. The name I've thought of so far are The Tale of Natsuhime, Record of the Eight Swords, and A History of Kanto. But I don't want what I've written to be treated as the exact and only account of history. Honestly, I do love someone else to write that book. I think for a while, but inspiration failed to strike me. Then, as might be expected, I start to feel tired. Okay, I can't do this tomorrow. I casually toss aside completion of the book. I quietly slide into the bed, so as not to disturb Haruhime. Give me a moment, my little mouser is doing the meow things. Anyways, back to watching Haruhime sleep. Haruhime gives a ticklish laugh. We're happy. However long is left, even if it's just a short time, let's to help tomorrow. It's like I'm telling myself these things, reassuring myself of them. I can't get to sleep if I don't. Tomorrow will just be another crazy, confusing, unpredictable, exciting day in Kanto. But it wasn't. Just before the end of summer, the one day I was waiting for, the day that would decide my fate, finally arrived. Oh my alchemist. morning, a fresh summer breeze is blowing. I sit on the edge of the garden, looking at the clear water. It's finally time. Things are starting. No. Ending. That's the premonition that seizes me. A premonition that I know to be a fact. I still retain memories of my dream-like meetings with Natsuhime, which means that her, the Kurokami, or maybe both of them, are trying to awaken. And the weather is so nice today. I look up at the sky. The wide spreading summer sky. It's too calm and peaceful a sight for there to be a major battle approaching. Well, not that I do prefer to do this in the middle of a storm.
Shin.
Yeah. Haruhime comes out from my room. She doesn't have many personal effects to carry around, and has been using my room as her office for a while now. Her face, however, is deadly serious. An expression I've honestly only seen a couple of times. That's why she called me Shin, and not Braver.
今、黒髪の様子に変化があったと報告がありました。
What kind of change?
遠目にですが、身白ぎしていると。私も今から確認するところです。
She finishes her brusque report, then enchants herself with the kodama and leaps up onto the roof. I follow after her. When I arrive, Haruhime isn't the only one there. Fuyuhito is with her. He was probably the one who first received this report. Fuyuhito looks with harsh eyes towards the west, in the direction of the Kurokami. He must have noticed our arrival, but he doesn't turn his head. Haruhime is looking in the same direction as her brother. And then, her eyes open and her shoulders shudder.
何かの見間違いではないのですか?
Haruhime quickly recovers herself and asks her brother with a frown on her face. Normally, she wouldn't ask such a silly question, but it's surely born from her ardent desire that it be true. But Fuyuhito shakes his hand.
見間違いであればと私も思ったが、事実のようだ。30分に一度ほどだが、黒髪の体が震えることがある。
激しく崩落していて、動いているように見えるのではないですか?
違う。地震などの自然現象でもない。
Fuyuhito narrows his eyes further as he speaks.
まあ、これが見間違いなわけありませんね。
At Haruhime's side, I frown myself. The Kurokami isn't the only thing that's changed. Looking out from our high vantage, there are black dots moving across the hills, forests, and plains that surround Count in all directions. Oh golly. Deki. They don't eclipse the countryside, but they come close. A massive number of Deki in the thousands, if not tens of thousands, all now choosing to show themselves. Here for you. Among them, there are not only the animal sheep Gaki, but also more Shiki. Just more terrifying faces in the crowd. Jesus, all of them moving slowly. Advancing, marching in a specific direction. They are all coming towards Kanta from every direction. So these are the greetings. I knew the word used in my dream had been off. This isn't anything as pleasant as a greeting. No escort nor an invitation. It's an army coming to wipe us out. The first of them will surround Kanta within hours. Within days, Kanta will be wiped out. It doesn't matter how strong the swords are now. And if my place in this world is eradicated, what choice will I have? But to return to the Teki?
やはり死んでいなかったか、黒髪。
Fuyuhita speaks with a curl to his lips. Haruhime doesn't reply. The Jew from Kanto aren't quite as freaked out as I was expecting. This is what they've been worried about. What they've been expecting. After I awoke, when Haruhime explained the Teki to me, she mentioned concerns about the Kurakami really being dead. That said, you can't have been expecting quite this many Teki.
ハル、どうする？
選択肢は少ないですね。
Haruhime licks her dry lips. With so little time left, this basically becomes the meeting to decide what to do next.
一つは黒髪が動いていることを無視してカントの防衛に徹する。もう一つはこの状況を生み出している原因が黒髪にあるとしてそれを止められるか今度こそ破壊し尽くせるか試しに行く。
前者は関東を守りきれても黒髪が再び動き出すのを許すかもしれない。後者は送り込んだ戦力が黒髪を何とかできたとしてそれまでに関東という国が消えているかもしれないか。
どちらも希望的観測を重ねに重ねた話ですが。
Haruhime is aware that she's pretty much ignoring the despair-inducingly keeping a gulf in combat power between humans and the Teki. We can't hope to defend against these numbers, but we can't hope to ride out to meet them either. A little while ago, I had a conversation with someone, asking me to come back. My voice is a murmur. I sound so calm and collected, it's almost like someone else is talking. The two of them turned to me, as though remembering I'm there.
呼ばれた？黒髪にですか？
君はこうなることを知っていたのか？
They're both basically asking the same thing, but there's something colder in Fuyuhita's voice. The desire to kill? I'm presenting a third choice, perhaps. If they kill me, one individual, the raiding of the Kurakami and the marching of the Teki might also stop. Haru, Fuyuhita, listen, please. I didn't know this was going to happen. I'm not saying that to get you to spare my life. I really don't know.
何がですか？
Maybe it was the Kurakami that called to me. If so, you should probably kill me. If that will save Kanto, I mean, I won't be pleased about it, but I'll go willingly to the sword. But it might have been Natsuhime who called me. The two of them freeze, looking at me. These two from the bloodline of the hero. Which of them called to me and what the right thing is to do? I don't know. If I go out there, the Kurakami might be revived. If I don't go, something even worse might happen. I lay it all out for them.
行くしかないようですね。
Haruhime makes a quick decision, as always.
真の言うことが正しく、夏姉様か黒髪か、どちらに呼ばれているのかがわからないのなら、向かった方が選べる可能性は増えます。
根本の問題ですが、彼の言うことを信じられますか？
This is the go no kami for Yuhita asking his ruler?
私は信じます。
Haruhime smiles and takes my hand. She believes in me. Her faith unshaken.
正しいことなど誰にもわからないか。私にできることは人にしろ敵機にしろ殺せるだけ殺すだけだな。
Fuyuhita accepts his ruler's word, and his killing intent fades.
高速移動が可能な少数精鋭であればかなり早く黒髪までたどり着けるかもしれない。
He has already switched over to putting a plan together. There is no time. Then I make a proposal. I might be able to reach the Kurakami alone, without a Teki attacking me.
その可能性はある。
Fuyuhita simply admits it. But it quickly gets shut down.
いいえ、 関東の守りより黒髪に向かう方に戦力を注ぎましょう。秦が黒髪にたどり着くことで敵機の目論見を止められるなら、道中の敵機は秦を敵と認識して攻撃してくるかもしれません。彼を失えば選択することすらできなくなります。
道理だな。
Fujita accepts that too. The Shiki didn't have any compunction about fighting me. In which case there may be more techie out there with orders preventing them from ignoring me.
黒髪の元へ向かうのは春とシン、それに茜と葵。この4人なら最速でたどり着けるだろう。今の関東の最大戦力のほとんどだな。
Fujita is also thinking about their defenses. The only swords left to protect Kanta would be Fujita, unable to move fast enough to come along. And Tsubame, not even considered a fighter. After that, maybe the guard force. Certainly not enough to take on all of these techie. He probably wanted at least Akina or Aoi to remain behind. Haruhime also looks unsure for a moment about going ahead with the split. But she closes her eyes for a moment, and when she opens them again, her authority as ruler is back in place. Her expression tightens, and she looks up at her brother Fuyuhita, still looking down on him.
5の神、冬人。統治者として命じます。関東の守り、その責任のすべてをあなたに任せます。
Fuyuhita moves slowly to stand straight, facing Haruhime, his ruler.
町への被害は許容します。しかし、人への被害は許しません。命を賭しなさい。誰かが死ぬのなら、まず先にあなたが死になさい。
承知。
Fuyuhita gives a nod, brief, simple, without hesitation. He's not bluffing. He's not underestimating the value of life. This is just normal for him. This is what Kanta looked like before I woke up.
そして、
Haruhime keeps going.
私たち黒髪に向かう4人が関東に戻った時、あなた自身で被害を報告しなさい。
承知しました。
Fuyuhita gives a small smile and an hour nod. Die before anyone else has to. Reporting the damages. In order to complete these conflicting orders, Fuyuhita will have to survive while allowing no one else to die. That is how Haruhime finds a way to express her wishes, while remaining ruler.
冬兄さん、正直どのくらいの時間関東を守れると考えますか？
She's no longer the ruler who asked him to fight to the death, but his sister, asking her brother.
民を王宮に集めておき、私が農地で迎え撃ち、裁けぬ分を護衛隊に引きつけてもらって、最初の接触から数時間は保証できる。楽観的に見積もれば半日程度か。
Very optimistically, it will currently take less than a day for these vast numbers to roll over the entire city.
数時間。
ゆっくり行ってこいと強がりでも言ってやれない。
いえ、信じています。
Haruhime then trusts him with this task. If I might offer a ray of potential hope here, I wasn't sure whether I should mention this as it might only raise false hope, but I decided to give voice to the idea. If the oncoming techie are targeting me, and not Kanta, then many of them may move away from the town after I depart.
なるほど。それはなかなか希望の湧く話だ。
Fuyuhita doesn't mince his words. Even if all that will achieve is reducing his foes from the thousands to the hundreds.
それでは、私と兄様は双子を探して可能な限り早く出立しましょう。
Well, we've already said their names. I'm sure they'll be here shortly.
まずいな。
Ueda frowns and starts looking around.
冬人
Of course. A blast of wind races past us along the roof, kicking Fuyuhito right in the face. No, the wind didn't kick him. A cane did. She uses the impact of striking him to halt her own momentum, and then puffs herself up.
よーし、やっぱり普通にやれば茜たちの方が全然強いわよね。
What he did there was cheating, though.
普通。
Oh, he drops down from the sky a moment later.
あなたたち、まだ冬人のことを怒っているのですか？
Haruhime shakes her head, looking in the direction Fuyuhita was sent flying. A moment later, we hear the sound of impact into the pond. The kid is pretty precise with her kicking distance. I'll give her that.
もう2週間前でしたっけ？冬人と真の死闘を止めようとしてあなたたちがやられたのは。やられてないわよ。茜がやられたのは葵にだもん。
Aoi does nothing but laugh, but she seems pretty pissed off.
それで不意打ちで冬人を蹴り飛ばしたのはこれで何度目です？茜は7回よ。まだまだ足りないわ。葵は19回で飽きた。
Wow.
冬人お兄ちゃんの能力対処法が分かっちゃうと相手にならないんだもん。
It only has to work once if the intention is to kill you. But now he's shown you all his tricks. Based on the nature and strength of your powers and their potential for further growth, the same moves won't work on the twins twice. And I might have got bored, but she almost hit 20.
状況が状況です。そろそろ許してあげなさい。冬人が本気になってしまったのもあの人の訓練癖の行き過ぎだったのでしょ。
Haruhime gives a sag. She believed the false reports that the fight between us was a training session that got out of hand. Fuyuhita was the one who made that fake report. The twins went along with it too.
そうよ。なんかその前によくわからない小難しい話をしていた気がするけど、そうなったのよ。そうそう。
Oh, he provides some backup by looking at me. They haven't shared a word of anything they've heard that day with anyone. The secrets about Natsuhime and Haruhime that Fuyuhita tried to kill me to keep. These girls are strong, cute, and clever. Aoi, at least. Akin might have completely forgotten the reason for the duel. That's the Akin we all know and love.
とにかく、茜と葵、あなたたち2人は私と共に真を黒髪まで送り届けますよ。
Haruhime cuts out the chatter and just tells them what she needs.
30分後、職人街に集合しましょう。はーい。お姉ちゃん、お水飲んでトイレに行っておこう。あんまり飲んじゃダメよ。暴れた時にお腹痛くなっちゃうんだから。
The twins immediately leap away. Haruhime moves over to the edge of the roof and looks down into the garden.
冬兄さんは怪我をしているならツバメに治療してもらってください。それから護衛隊の他にも戦う意志のある者がいれば職人街に集合させてください。
わかった。怪我はしていない。あれでも二人は手加減してるさ。
The reply comes up from below the roof. That completes her orders to him. I look to the west. Remove the Korakami and take it from the picture, and it's the same beautiful summer scenery as always. I did feel it coming, but I'm still surprised at how suddenly the story seems to be ending. I wonder how it's going to turn out. Even if it's just following a scenario or program written by someone else. I'm the one who has to choose.
兄様、
Haruhime calls to me.
あまり時間はありませんが、何かしておきたいことはありませんか？
No, nothing in particular. I give a light reply. I've done everything I have to. Left behind all the knowledge I can muster. Started an economy. Formed a guard. Laid the groundwork for the division of Ichinokami and ruler. Went around asking about Natsuhime, giving me FaceTime with everyone I know here. And finished writing the book. The countdown is at 0. I haven't finished listening to all the records for the past, but I can't continue that without getting you back. One thing, I finished writing my story, but I didn't pick a title yet. I recall that issue from last night.
ああ、あの兄様が書いていた物語ですか？
Yep, I've counted since I woke up. I nod, knowing it's not that important. But Haruhime looks at me quietly.
あ、
What's wrong?
どうして？
Eh? She writes question with her question. Haruhime is looking up at me, her head slightly tilted.
どうしてその物語は完成したのですか？
Why not?
お兄様が目覚めてからのカントの物語であるならば、それはずっと完成はしないものではないのですか？それでは今日のことや明日のことが書かれないではありませんか？
Haruhime has a placid expression on her face. I think for a moment, and then smile. I wasn't planning on writing a never-ending story. It's not a diary. I want the people who read it to have fun, and maybe realize something from it. That's all I want. Haruhime looks down as though thinking about my words.
それが兄様の答えなのですね。
Yes. I nod. That's my answer. I'm not lying because I can't. But there are also some things I can't put it in. What about you, Haru? Anything you want to do? I take my turn to ask her.
私もありません。戻るつもりであれば、今急いでなしておくべきことはありませんから。
She gives such a natural answer. I've heard that before somewhere. Natsuhime said something similar with the young Tsubame and her knee. That rules involving fighting the Kurakami weren't needed if you were planning on coming back. Unlike Natsuhime, at least we won't be going into this alone. So we just have to wait for the time to come. I look into the sky. I let my thoughts reach back. 1,000 years since the Teki showed up. How many people have died in that time? How many ideas have come and gone? Meeting, crossing, separating? And how many of them have died, vanished, or faded away? We are here, at the end of them all. Now, let's end this journey. If not for the fact that there's Tsubame stuff in the gallery, I would say sure. Anyways, it's time to end the episode. I'll see you another one soon. Again, I'm sorry. I didn't want to record. Just to. I didn't want to fix stuff too late, so yeah. Instead, I tried my best at a little bit of a recap at the very beginning of this video. But besides that, I'll see you in another episode real soon, so subscribe. It's free. Thank you.